On today's Motorhead Garage, it's all about the bling. We take a late model SS Camaro from this to this. Meanwhile, Sam does it old school. All up next.
I'll tell you what, bud, you got a lot of work ahead of you now.
You can come over and help me.
That's just why I like. Hey, welcome to Motorhead Garage. Well, Sam brought in his aluminum trailer today, and guess what he wants us to do? Fix it and clean it up for him.
That's right. How much money have you spent on billet polish? How many times have you had your hands black? And you know, when you polish up this aluminum, it looks good for a little period of time.
Exactly. You know, the problem is it's kind of like painting the Golden Gate Bridge. Once you start, you get it all done. By the time you're done, you start over again and keep doing it. Well, we found a way that you can polish this out and then keep it looking good for a long, long time. And what we have right over here, this is our friend Clint Bland from Flatwater Products, and they make shark hide. And this is a product that we found that will clean that up very, very well. Clint, tell me, what is the first step Sam's going to have to do with this?
Well, first he's going to have to take care of the oxidation. It's something that forms normally on aluminum. It's a natural formation that protects it from the elements. Well, he's got to get rid of that first before we're going to try to polish it. And what we use for that is our shark hide aluminum cleaner. It's a very, very powerful blend of acids and surfactants, soaps, and clinging agents. And what we do is we'll dilute that with water, and that will etch and clean the surface. That's the starting point.
Okay, so you put it here in the spray bottle.
You bet.
Let me give this to Sam. Now, what's the trick on this?
Well, what you want to do is apply it to dry aluminum only. The best thing to do is do it with an adjustable tip, and you start from the bottom up. You adjust that tip to a fine, fine mist.
Watch out, this is an acid, so you want to make sure you have gloves on.
Absolutely.
I can see it foaming up.
Right.
You would normally do this outside because you want to hose it off with a hose, rinse it off. We're going to use a bucket and a rag.
Okay, and there you go. That's all you need to do. Now, what you're supposed to do now that you've got this reaction, it'll form this real thin, dense layer of foam. Now, that's actually cleaning and etching the aluminum. Now, you'll notice little spots starting to appear as gravity takes over and starts to take this down. When you see these little spots appear, give them a real light mist and keep it under that blanket of foam for anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes, depending on how severe the aluminum is. And that's all you do. You don't touch it, you don't scrub it, there's no contact involved. Let it do its business, rinse it off, and you're done.
All right, you're making Sam's job too easy. Now, while he's rinsing that off, Clint, what's the next step now once he has that all cleaned off?
Well, he had a couple options. He could have left it the etched off-white finish, but Sam's elected to polish it. He wants to see a nice, bright, reflective finish. So for that, we use our shark hide metal polish. This polish is a one-step polish as opposed to a multi-step. We've got what's called diminishing particulates in this. It'll start off a very aggressive, abrasive particle, but the more you work it with friction, it begins to crack down those abrasive particles.
Get smaller,
they get smaller and smaller until finally you're left with literally a rouge to get that nice.
Okay, now how much effort does it take to do this?
Quite a bit. There's no such thing as an easy polish job. I mean, it all takes elbow.
He's going to be looking at me to do that. Let's get him started on that.
So you use this just like any other billet polish, I guess. A lot of rubbing.
Oh, absolutely. A lot of pressure, a lot of rubbing both directions. With the diamonds, you have to go both directions to get up to it.
Diamond plate is tough. I'll tell you what, a little tip is, and I don't have any, but if you have a small piece of carpet, it really works good as an applicator. I'll go ahead and polish this up, and we'll see what it looks like when we're all done. All right, now you can see how nice that looks where I polished it. And you know, you've all polished billet aluminum. All that black oxidation that comes off, you got it in your hands, you got it on the rag. Before you apply the final coat, here's a good tip. You want to get that oxidation out of the metal. This is just everyday lacquer thinner. Saturate it real good because you want the thinner to work, you know, not the rag, and just rub it on here, okay? And what you want to do, and you'll know when you clean because, see, it's getting black. Ball this up so you can dispose of it, and then just go ahead and rub this all down good, and it might leave a little film behind. We're going to take care of that when we put the shark hide on it. Let that dry. Now we're ready for our final coat. When I get this all polished up, looking the way I want it to stay that way for years. Right now, we're going to take a quick break. Don't go away. We've got a lot more coming here at Motorhead Garage.
This edition of Motorhead Garage, presented by ARP, is being brought to you by ARP, the world leader in fastener technology. And by Low Car Performance Products, quality, plain and simple. And by Original Parts Group, the world's largest source for GM A-body parts and accessories. And by Prevost, your best source for premium compressed air distribution and treatment products.
Hey, welcome back to Motorhead Garage. Well, there's a lot of uses for shark hide. What we have here, this is a Borla electronic fuel injection system. Beautiful piece, you know, it's all aluminum, all billet and everything. But you know what happens over a period of time? These things start to kind of get darker and start to corrode. You want to keep this really looking nice. So this is something else you can use that on, isn't it?
Absolutely. What you see here, we put shark hide on this over a decade ago. This is an old junk piece of intake, bead blasted, so it looked like this when it started. One coat of the metal protectant, and over the years, this is what you get on the unprotected side.
And something else, if you got a street rod like we have right here that's going together, one of the things you can do is underneath it now, use your shark hide on your nuts and your bolts, on your plated pieces down here, any raw metal that you might have, because once you get the body on here, nobody's really going to be seeing this, but if you're really anal about your street rod, like a lot of guys are, you want to keep that looking cool under there. Meanwhile, Sam is still working over here. How you coming over there, bud?
I'm doing great here, bud. You know, this is just like cleaning a cylinder. When you've bought an engine and you put it in a honer, you wash it with soap and water, and you use a white rag. If it comes out gray, the cylinder's still dirty. You do it until the white rag comes out white. Same thing, balling up these paper towels. When you've got this all clean, and it comes out nice and clean, then all the oxidation is taken out of the pores. And now, Clint, we're ready to put the shark hide on here.
Right.
Show me how to do this. What's the best thing to apply it with?
The best thing we've ever found is a white cotton baby diaper. These can be purchased at just about any Walmart in the nation, and we'll have them on our website starting probably next week.
Cool.
The weave of this cotton is what makes this so effective. It wicks moisture at such a rate that as you're applying, it'll keep the surface of the cloth nice and wet. You won't dry out. The proper way to apply shark hide is what you want to do is fold this into a nice, thick, rectangular pad. And Sam, the key is to saturate every square inch of the cloth.
I see it.
You don't want any dry spots. You want it nice and wet. You don't want it to the point of dripping, but you want it almost that wet. Now, whenever you do any kind of flat steel sheet, it's a single swipe. But now, diamond plate's different. We have to use back and forth passes to get to each side of the diamond.
Right.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to coat from here down. I'll coat your polish as well as the acid etched section.
Okay.
One more time, I'm going to let you know, you're going to notice runs from diamond to diamond. No way to stop that unless you do it laying horizontal. Don't worry about that. In just a few minutes, they'll disappear. And the way to do this is you go back and forth, scoot down the width of the cloth, back and forth, scoot down, back and forth.
There you go.
And that's it. Now that constitutes one coat.
Wow, that's not much.
That's all it takes to do it.
So the hardest part is polishing and getting ready for that. There's really no work at all putting on the shark hide. You notice he had his gloves on. It isn't powerful. It's not going to hurt your hands, but always work safeties. Now, how long is that going to take to dry?
In these conditions, this is going to dry to the touch in probably maybe 2 to 3 minutes. You can handle this. Ideally, before you put a second coat on, I urge people to do 2 coats on your first application. So we like to let it set and cure for a couple days if possible. Then come back and repeat this step. One more time, that's your 2 coats. A trailer like this, you could probably go anywhere from 3 to 5 years before you need to put another coat on.
Imagine you only had to polish your aluminum every 3 to 5 years. Save a lot of work, a lot of elbow grease, and a lot of billet polish.
You know, Clint, you can use this for a lot of other things, can't you?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Dave, there's no limitations to what you, as long as it's clean metal, copper, brass, bronze, aluminum, magnesium, steel, stainless. Rat rod guys love us. They can coat their entire bare steel bodies and drive them like a painted car. Obviously, the best time to use our shark hide metal protectant is when your item is new. If it's a new trailer, like Sam's here, or if you've got a muscle car, we do suspension components on them, things like that. But the best time to do it is when it's new. A couple of the things I didn't tell you about, shark hide's self-etching. So when it's time to recoat, you don't have to do any sanding, there's no preparation. When you swipe a fresh coat over the existing, it melts and flows right in. So it doesn't stack and layer like paint.
I bet this is great for the boaters too, isn't it?
Absolutely. We have a tremendous marine following, aircraft, motorcycle, automotive, you name it. I mean,
If it's metal, you can put it on there.
Absolutely.
Hey, I appreciate you stopping by. And Sam, you know, I'd really like to help you with that trailer, but I think you're going to have...
I can tell you're just dying to get your hand dirty.
Anyway, hey, we're going to take a short break, come back. We got a lot more coming here on Motorhead Garage. On this week's Industry Update, we're here at Indianapolis at the Hot Rod and Restoration Trade Show. And Sam, if you're a hot rodder, this is a place you need to be because they got thousands of replacement parts here.
All the latest and greatest here, and we're in Low Car's booth. And you know Low Car's, their slogan is quality, plain and simple.
Sure is. Take a look at this right here. This is a drive-by-wire electronic throttle control pedal assembly. All billet, so if you're using some of the latest electronics in your hot rod or street rod, they've got it for you. But if you're doing a restoration here with, say, a 67 to 72 Chevrolet or GMC or C10 truck, they got direct fit brake and clutch pedals, either in the black anodized or in the billet look. Same thing right down here for their 55 and 57 Chevys. Great additions to your car when you want to dress it up. What do you find, Sam?
Here's the Low Car legendary shifter. You can see how easy it mounts. It's high quality. And of course, you got braided stainless cables. This is a transmission mount park brake. You've got the braided stainless with the aluminum up here for the dipstick tube. All the cables you need. Everything you know Low Car has been making for 25 years. Now they got a new line of shift knobs. Beautiful. This is the Venetian. They come in black, all polished like this. The full round, the deco. An adapter goes on there. You don't have the push button anymore. You just push the knob down. Always with innovation in their products.
They sure have it. And if you want a lot more information about it, all you have to do is go to their website and check it out.
Motorhead Garage coming to you from Borla Commerce Park.
Hey, welcome back to Motorhead Garage. Well, you know, you guys, when you get a nice new car like this Camaro, this is a 2011, and you open up the hood and you look inside, you can see the factory's done a little bit of work in here to try to make the engine compartment look a little bit more professional, a little bit nicer. But you know what? They don't do enough. And what we're going to do is we're going to show you exactly how to make this thing look like $1 million. Sam's got all the stuff right over here.
And what I've got is my buddy Rick Rivera. He's from American Car Craft, and they got all kinds of great stuff. This is all stainless. It's all polished 304. And where do you make all this?
We make this in Hudson, Florida. Me and a talented group of guys actually design, digitize, form, and produce this product.
Show me some of the things you got for this Camaro.
We have a real nice door sill that we make for it. We have a lot of different stainless steel accessories that are going to just embellish the hood, the engine shroud, shock towers, the front vent.
Now you see all the stuff's got a protective coating on it because he's trying to protect this nice finish. This is polished 304.
Yep, it's a number 8 finish, and we apply the blue surface so that you can go ahead and install these things without goobering up with your fingerprints and thumb. And once they're in, you can just peel it and enjoy it.
Now we're doing a Camaro today, but you make stuff for the Ford Raptor pickup truck. You make it for the Mustang. What else do you cover?
Well, American Car Craft is predominantly American cars, Chevy Corvette, Ford Raptor, Viper, Prowler, Challenger, Charger. It's quite a big list.
Cool. Now I see you got these little caps. Now this happens to be a set of Corvette.
Yeah, this is our patented design. That's a licensed C6 set, carbon fiber. They're available in a lot of different ways. The one we're putting on today on the Camaro is actually a blue carbon fiber. This is so that we can kind of color coordinate with the rest of the parts that we put.
Got oil fill, the radiator, windshield washer, brake fluid, and power steering. Really dresses it up. Now, you know, you got some nice stuff now. Look at, you got these Corvette door sills. This is gorgeous. Now that's for a Grand Sport.
Yeah, it's one of our premium sills, yes.
You know, polished stainless, brush finish stainless, carbon fiber. Now Dave's got a brand new Grand Sport. I would be a good guy if I bought him a set of these for his car, but that ain't gonna happen. What we need to do is, we got this ugly Camaro. I mean, the Camaro's pretty, but under the hood, you see all the mechanicals. We're gonna cover it all up, make it look real good. Give me the first step.
Well, I think the first thing that we're going to do is the engine shroud. It's one of the few parts that are available on the market that makes a dramatic difference. Very easy to install. You're going to go through a little bit of prep work and peel and stick and turn that thing completely around.
Let's get to work.
You know, one of the key things about putting in all this engine dress-up kit is a lot of it is put on with adhesive back pieces here. The key on that is you got to have all the pieces extremely clean, right, Rick?
Yep, preparation is the key. What you're going to do is get a clean paper towel with some household rubbing alcohol, and you're going to rub this, make sure there's no contaminants on it, dirt, wax.
Any of that coating these guys throw on there?
Right. And after you do that, your kit comes with a little Scotch pad. You're going to scuff this surface up to increase the surface area. This is also a critical part. You want to make sure that you're getting the most bond you possibly can. Once you've sanded that like that, Just a little wipe again with some alcohol to remove that particle dust.
Yep.
And then you test and see how well you've done. The kit comes with a little piece of the same attachment tape that's used on the parts. So you want to see what kind of tack we've achieved here. So you press that on and you can see that the tape sticks
pretty darn good.
Pretty good. Now you can go and ensure that you're going to get a permanent bond by using our adhesive promoters. This is a critical chemical, it's a watery fluid, and here's a little sponge. Just get the sponge wet, and you swipe this down, just like so.
You have to let that
dry
set for any time?
Yeah, a few seconds. It kind of dries pretty instantly.
Once you have that done, then you're ready to put your parts on. We'll go ahead and do this whole piece here that we're going to work on, and then we can put all our parts on. Okay, folks. Well, now you can see how easy that is so far. We've got the engine covered, but we got a lot more we're going to be doing on here, so stick around.
This week's OPGI restoration tip is going to be about having the right tool for the right job. Original Parts Group offers a lot of specialty tools for the restoration. What James is using here is a molding clip remover tool. It's the proper tool that you're going to want to use when you're removing your windshield or rear window moldings versus some kind of flat blade or a butter knife or something like that. The tool that he's using is designed specifically to remove the moldings without damaging the glass or the molding. You can see as he's popping these off. So when you're going through one of our catalogs or you're on our website, make sure you check out the extensive section of restoration tools we have so you can do the right job with the right tool. And that's this week's OPGI restoration tip.
This edition of Motorhead Garage, presented by ARP, is being brought to you by VR12, Ultimate Cooling System Protection, and by Stage 8, the world's best locking fasteners, and by Hurst, America's #1 shifter, and by Bruin Brake Cables, made in the USA, certified.
Hey, welcome back to Motorhead Garage. Well, as you can see, Rick and I have been working along in here. We've added a few more things under our hood. As you can see, we put on these covers around the shock tower. Rick is just completing that. And we also put in a radiator cover over here, so that really makes it start to come together. Now the next step, of course, is to go ahead and finish up with all the components that go around here. And we got something unique about that, how they're mounted, and that's always a problem. Rick, show them exactly what you did.
Well, in order to get these pieces securely installed and without having to drill any holes, we've devised a way to take the stock bolt out of its location and install our bolt, which has a threaded screw. This is going to be used to secure all our parts.
That makes it a lot easier to go in. Let's go ahead and we'll get started on this. In the meantime, let's check out Sam and see what he's up to.
While Dave's making a career under the hood, it's a good thing he's got Rick Rivera helping him. I've got these nice door sill plates. Again, they're stainless. Got the SS logo, the blue carbon fiber look. Again, I put the adhesion promoter right on the original sill plate. These are peel and stick, so we'll peel these off. And again, these are just all beautiful polished stainless. Get it in position before you put it down, know exactly where it's gonna go. Gonna stick right over the other one. Hug that, put it down, that's there. Peel off your blue protective coating, and this is gonna look great. Now, you know, we've got a scuff area here in the door where you get out and your foot hits it. It's a great way to protect it. Again, polished stainless, blue insert, and it's got this little radius, and that goes right into, up against the speaker grill. Use your fingers to run along the bottom, make sure you get it level. And again, peel and stick, put this right on and it's gonna look great. Really finishes the car off well. Try not to touch your adhesive with your fingers. Get it right where you want it, make sure it's nice and level, and it's gonna fit flat. Push it on, and you're there. And the last little trim we have, this is really a neat piece. Little SS logo trim. That goes right on your outside rear view mirror. You don't need to have any adhesion promoted. Just wipe it down, get it clean, peel it off, and stick it, and it's gonna look great. How you doing up there, Davey?
We've got a lot accomplished here. We've got this all on here. We got the chrome pieces on the shock towers, the piece covered here, and now we're putting on This front cover really looks good. Now the key on this is with these little screws, there's little slots down here. Now, these little screws, you want to put them all in hand tight or with a screwdriver. Don't use a power tool on it. Get them all in loose before you tighten any of them down. And once you do that, then you're in business. And after you do that, then the nice thing about it is they offer a Velcro donut here and a little cap. What that does is you slide that right over the screw head, put your cap on it like so, and then this will really dress that up. Pretty neat stuff.
What we're going to do is we're going to add this really nice license plate frame. Again, this is like a satin finish. It's got the blue carbon fiber look. The neat part is it's got these tabs that the plate will tuck into, so you only have 2 screws holding it on. And then they supply you the screws to go in there. They're little bolts, little quarter inch bolts. Then they have a nice cap that goes over it, pops over, it's chrome, finishes it off, and it looks great. Really does a nice job. You can see it up here in place. That way it looks terrific. Now we also have some trim. It's going to go on the trunk around your bow tie. And again, we're going to clean this all up, make sure we get it in place, position it, play with it a little bit so you know exactly where it's going to be before you peel off your backing, and then you have the outline of the bow tie, so it really finishes it off well. It's going to make a really nice piece. And then last but not least, they have a nice little SS cover for your fuel filler door. See how Davey's doing up front.
Oh man, does that look cool. Well folks, what do you think of that? There you have it. You saw what it looked like before we started. Now you can see what it looks like after we're done. And that was a pretty easy installation, Rick, I have to tell you. Now, how do you take good care of it? You're a Metaglaze, so this is something that they have to keep this nicely polished look.
All of our products are lifetime guarantee from our company. Our SS logos and our Chevy logos, which are fully licensed by GM. As a matter of fact, all our products are licensed through the manufacturers. And we're very proud of it, and we stand behind it.
Yeah, you ought to be, man. It looks terrific. Well, we want to thank you for coming and bringing all your stuff here and helping us put this in. It really looks terrific. We'll see you next time here at Motorhead Garage.